The SHAUNAKA Upanishad presented by Svayam Sharma. The SHAUNAKA Upanishad tells the story of the war between the demons and the gods. Though initially defeated by the demons, the gods, when finally led by the Pranava OM in its full glory, defeat the demons conclusively. The teaching of the Upanishad is attributed to the sage Shaunaka, who also figures prominently in the Mundaka Upanishad. In this Upanishad, Indra, Brahm and Om are shown as one. The Upanishad is part of the Atharva Veda. Source material for this upload has been taken from 60 Upanishads of the Veda by Paul DEUSSEN. The Upanishad. The gods and the demons were preparing for war. Indra, however, had not yet joined the gods. In the morning sacrifice, the gods placed the rishis and the vasus in front to lead the charge to conquer the demons in their preparation for war. However, during the course of the sacrifice, the demons appeared at the sacrifice and said to the rishis, "Let us also sacrifice with you today, so that we also have a chance of victory over the gods." The rishis were frightened and gave the demons enough clarified butter or ghee, which one uses as an offering, and said to the demons, "With this offering of clarified butter, you will be able to conquer the gods." The demons took that offering, and with it they conquered the gods. Then Indra, who joined the gods, said to Gayatri, "You lead the gods to victory." Gayatri replied, "The gods are in retreat. What can I do now?" Then Indra made the Pranav, the constant beginning of the Gayatri, and said, "Gayatri, this Pranav will protect you." But Gayatri objected, "If Pranav leads me, then it will take a share of my fame and glory." To which Indra replied, "Do not be afraid, Gayatri, that the Pranav will take away from your share of fame and glory. You should know this, that the greatness of the Pranav is far, far superior to all. And as such, the Pranav does not need to take away from anybody's share. The whole world rests on the greatness of the Pranav. You have nothing to fear that the Pranav will take away from your glory. The Pranav is here only to help you. But you have to go to the help of the Vasus." "Om, so be it," said the Gayatri. Then the Pranav said, "It is my condition that every work begin with me. If not, then I shall not help." "Om, or so be it," agreed the gods. That is to say, when one says Om, meaning so be it, all names and all forms are contained in it. For the Pranav is everything, and the Pranav contains everything within it. Therefore, it is called the one syllable, Ek Akshar, and it is also all pervading. Therefore, one says, "Om, I will do this." And when people say, when people give permission, then they simply say Om. And when people wish to speak, they simply say Om. This sound grants victory, and it is constant and contains within it all beings. Though only a syllable, yet it is infinite, and being infinite, it is one, and it contains all forms and all shapes. It contains all sounds. It contains all smells. It contains all tastes. And it contains all touches and physical sensations. Therefore, the Pranav is called Indra, In fact, all the syllables and all the beings are linked with this one syllable Om. All the Vedas, all the knowledge of the Vedas, and all the sacrifices are under the power of the syllable Om. And just as everything is under the power of Indra, because he is the king above all, in the same way, everything is under the power of Pranav Om, since it is the king of all the syllables. Therefore, people recite the Pranav Om softly and lightly in the mornings. So when the demons came near the gods uttered Om softly. Then the Pranav became light to them and said, "Lightly I shall crush your enemies." Therefore, the mantras too, which are all preceded by the Pranav, are recited softly in the morning. And because the Gayatri was also linked with it, therefore, all the mantras which are recited in the morning are linked with the Gayatri. And the gods of the morning offering, of the morning sacrifice, are the Vasus. Then the Pranav Om said, "While I am everything, and I am also the beginning of the Gayatri, what will be my reward for the help I give to the gods?" To which Indra said, "Your reward shall be this, that when people first recite you in the beginning of the psalm hymns, and when people sing the psalm hymns, they will sing you as all the syllables. Therefore it happens that when people sing the psalm hymns, they sing the Pranav as all the syllables." The Pranav Om pondered over this and thought, "If I am all the syllables, then the gods will see all my forms, and that is not good." Thinking so, the Pranav Om withdrew all its forms within itself and hid itself in the reverberation, in the echo. He became hornless. He became without matras. He became without sound. Therefore, the gods ran after the hornless one in order to search for him. And they said, "The power, the seed, the light, the indestructible, the flawless, all that is the reverberation, all that is the echo. Therefore, one obtains the light, one obtains the indestructible, and one obtains the flawless through the reverberation, through the echo." And so, the demons were defeated and the gods won. This Pranav is Indra. It is everything that exists. The Gayatri, the psalm hymns, the Vasus, the morning sacrifice, all of them is the Pranav. It is Indra who is the movable and the immovable. So they say, but Indra is Pranav. So Pranav is the movable and the immovable. But the defeated demons gathered again. They regrouped again. And as the midday sacrifice was being performed, by chanting the psalm hymns, they appeared at the sacrifice. The rishis were frightened and gave the demons the water which is used at the sacrifice and said, "With this you will conquer the gods." The demons were sure of conquering the gods with that water. Then Indra sent the Rudras along with the gods to battle with the demons. But the gods were defeated by the demons. Then Indra said to the Tristubh meter, "Now you go to the aid of the gods." Tristubh, however, replied, "The gods are defeated. How can I help them?" Then Indra again said to Pranav, "Place yourself at the head of the Tristubh." Pranav asked, "What will be my reward?" Indra replied, "What I am, that you are, Pranav. People will pronounce you as my form." Pranav pondered over this and again thought, "The gods will see the full truth about me, and that is not good. Then it withdrew all its forms within itself and hid itself in the reverberation, in the echo. Therefore, people do not pronounce the third sound M of Om fully, but instead they pronounce the Anuswar, the dot above Om, which is just half the sound. And so the demons were defeated and the gods won. Therefore, the gods at the midday sacrifice are the Rudras, and their meter is the Tristubh. But the demons once again reorganized, they once again regrouped, and as the evening sacrifice was being conducted and the psalm hymns were being sung, they appeared at the sacrifice. The rishis were frightened of them and tore off enough of the tips of the sacrificial grass as an offering and gave it to the demons, saying, "With these you will conquer the gods." Then Indra said to the Jagati meter, "Go to the aid of the gods," to which the Jagati replied, "The gods are defeated, what can I do?" Then Indra placed the Pranav Om at the head of the Jagati, to which Pranav asked, "What shall be my reward if I help the gods?" To which Indra replied, "People will pronounce you with the Udgit so that your glory will be visible for all to see." And he made Aditya the leader of the gods. Therefore, the divinity of the evening sacrifice is Aditya, and their meter is the Jagati. Then Pranav realized and knew that the Udgit is a manifestation of the Aditya, is the manifestation of Brahma, and that it too was a manifestation of Brahma and not different from Brahma. Then Pranav Om walked out in his full form, which he had on earlier occasions hidden in the reverberation, in the echo. Om walked in front of Aditya. Aditya made Pranav Om his weapon, and so, with Pranav as their weapon, the gods now decisively defeated the demons who were scattered like dust, so that they could never ever come together again. The Pranav appeared in its full form, and thereby it earned great fame. For the Pranav is the pinnacle of greatness. All beings are contained in the Pranav, and his abode, his dwelling, is the reverberation, is the echo. For it was in the reverberation that the Pranav had hidden itself. Therefore, what one desires, one should request the Pranav, and whatsoever worship that one performs, that worship also belongs to the Pranav. Therefore it is said, the Pranav has 4 horns, the Pranav has 3 feet, the Pranav has 2 heads, it has 7 hands, it is bound threefold, it roars loudly, it shines brightly, having entered into all the living beings. Its 4 horns are the 3.5 moras of sounds. Its 3 feet are the letters A, U and M. Its 2 heads are the letters O and M. Its 7 hands are the 7 notes or the 7 swaras, because it is sung in all the 7 notes. It is bound threefold by the 3 letters A, U and M, with the 3 worlds, the earth, the mid-world, the atmosphere, and the upper world, the heaven, and with the 3 Vedas. This is what is said about Om. The Pranav is Indra, and therefore great. Therefore it is said, Indra the great is the Lord over all the gods. He grants greatness. He mitigates grief. He is full of light. He helps all. He is the mighty ruler. He grants strength. He sustains the universe. And he is well disposed towards all and everything. Because Indra supports himself in this way, therefore it was said that the Pranav rings loudly. And it rings loudly because all who worship him earn great fame. that he has entered into all beings means that he dwells in all living beings. Therefore, one should worship Indra by the syllable Om. Thus spoke the revered sage Shaunak. Thus spoke the revered sage Shaunak. This concludes the Shaunak Upanishad. Om Shanti 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 Om.